Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Developing a Proper Worldview. We're in section 6, the New World Order, and this is episode number 92. We're going to be starting the documentary called The Fall of the Republic. We just finished the Obama Deception. Was that the name of it? Yeah. We finished that documentary, and so we're moving on here. And as always, just as a precursor, I do want to say it's important that you watch these in order. So if you just happen to be catching this video randomly or you're new to the channel, make sure you go back and watch them in order. There's a purpose, there's a plan involved in that. We're exploring a very deep and complex subject. Something that I've personally spent years and years and years researching, mainly through documentaries, but also through books, through websites, through articles, through speeches. So, just in what we're doing here with the documentaries, we're going to have probably, I don't know, by the time it's all said and done, 500 hours worth of subject matter. And so that's how deep this is, and we're just going in one direction. It's, you could branch out and explore all sorts of different facets of this, because it's a centuries long, it's a generational conspiracy that we're looking into, a satanic geopolitical system that's being built, century upon century, year upon year. It's there's so much information to get into, and it can be overwhelming. It can be very complex. It can be information overload, and a lot of times when you start to research this, people can be talking on a PhD level of conspiracy theory. And to somebody who's just coming in at the ground floor, it sounds nuts. It sounds insane, because it's just, the information's overwhelming, and a lot of the high level stuff is like, it's too much to believe. It's like, what? That can't be real. And so you have to come into it piecemeal. You have to understand from the foundation up, and so that's what we're doing here, developing a proper worldview. And you have to have those building blocks laid down, A, in order to understand what's really going on, and B, to protect you from a lot of the different smoke screens that are out there. There's a lot of misleading information. There's a lot of divergent paths that'll just take you down the wrong direction. And so it's important to build step upon step, and the most important, the foundational piece, really the only thing that matters. If you get this right, the rest of it really don't matter, and that is faith in Jesus Christ. This is a biblical conspiracy we're looking into, although we're exploring geopolitical aspects. It's founded in the Bible. This is God's design and plan for world history. It's interesting that I've seen the word history is His story. It's God's story, and we're just playing it out. We're in the midst of it. We're in the midst of His grand plan, His grand design, His book. And in His book, He gives us bits and pieces. We don't have the full picture of what the future holds, but we have enough where we can be on guard, where we can be watchful. Over and over and over, the scriptures tell us to watch. And that word just means to be on guard, to be alert, to be aware of what's going on. And the scriptures tell us that this world belongs to Satan, and that he gives the kingdoms to whomsoever he wishes. And so that those are his servants. He gives the different arms, the different branches of this world system, the kingdom, the world beast system. He gives it to those that worship him, to those that show their allegiance to him through various different means. And so it's very important that you understand that this is God's plan. that this culminates with the return of Jesus Christ, the destruction of evil, and the setting up of God's everlasting kingdom. And there's only two paths. You're either in with Christ or you're not. And if you're not, the end destination is eternal destruction. Your only hope is in Jesus Christ. And you have to have that understanding. You have to be born again, as the scriptures put it, to have your dead spirit resurrected so that you can have communion with Christ. And that communion comes through his holy word. You must be born again. You must have your spiritual eyes enlightened and your heart awakened so that you can understand the words of Scripture and that you can properly discern what's going on in the world. And so we've tried to lay that foundation for you in a piece by piece video. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. But we've tried to build that foundation in a way that will not lead you astray, that will help you to properly discern what in the world is going on. I don't know if any of that made sense. I lost track of my thought and just kind of stumbled through that there, but so we've gone through that. Here we are in section 6. Like I said, this is episode 92. I'm getting kind of excited. We're approaching episode 100. I've mentioned before, I think we probably will end up having around 300 episodes. So we're probably a third of the way there. And yeah, it's been a blast. I love doing these videos. For multiple reasons. I mean, anybody who's watching, I mean, if you're on episode 92, you're invested. And that's exciting for me because that means that there's other people out there like me that are going to have what I believe is a proper understanding of our world system, a biblical understanding of what's really going on, a biblical foundation so that you can work your way through all the political and economic and religious insanity in this world, because we're living in a fallen world and we're living in perilous times and the world really is insane. There's chaos out there. But when viewed through the lens of biblical prophecy, when viewed properly, it makes sense and it settles you. There's no panic, there's no fear. There's great trust in God and a great hope in his plan and an excitement that perhaps we're living in the days when we'll see the return of Jesus Christ. I don't know if we're that generation or if God is going to delay things. Part of this study, again, being watchful, is helping us to look at all the events and say, man, it certainly looks like we're on the precipice here. It certainly looks like we're at the end. So yeah, I guess that'll be my introduction here. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and click the link down in the description to jump over to Rumble. YouTube has been censoring and blocking and taking down a lot of my videos, so just go over to Rumble, KingRam417, same username, and you can watch the uncensored free speech platform. You can watch the full video there. I'm just going to post this introduction on YouTube. So again, if you're watching on YouTube, this is going to be the end of it. Click on the link in the description and jump over there. And without further ado, let's jump into things.